my channel, I am going to show you all of the gear that I have tried and tested and will be bringing on the AT. There are some clothes in here that I'm like a little hesitant on, so feel free to let me know if it's unnecessary or if you have any recommendations of different types, brands, whatever worked for you. I'd like to know. Let me start first by sharing my backpack. It is the Gossamer Gear Mariposa 60. The first time I used it, I didn't wear it right, so I obviously didn't like it then. Second time I used it, it was great, but the back in here, there's a sit pad, I'll show you that later. The back in here was rubbing like on the back of my neck and caused some chafing, so that's really the only downside that I found to this pack so far. It's super light and I can put the weight of things in the bottom if you guys want me to, just let me know in the comments. Something that I did add to this was a Z-Packs water bottle. There was something like Gossamer Gear didn't have them at the time, so this is the Z-Packs water bottle holder, and I just attached it to the loops on the shoulder strap. I love this also because it does have big hip belt pockets, and I'm able to fit a ton in there, and I will go over that in just a little bit. I guess we can also just keep moving down. This is the Gossamer Gear bag liner. This is the second one I had. I ripped the first one, so I'm thinking about getting a Sea to Summit liner just so that I don't worry about it at all during the whole trip. But this is just a little extra waterproof method. I went with a Light AF fanny pack. I wasn't sure about adding this, but I read a lot of reviews about how it's nice to have in town, and I can put my wallet down in there, and I've got like some just basic sunscreens and chapsticks to go along in it. This is the sit pad that comes along with the backpack, so I didn't end up getting, ooh, there's something in my eye. Ooh. I didn't end up getting one of the, I can't remember what the brand is, but it's one of the folding sit pads. I just figured I would try this one out, and it seemed to work on my first 2 shakedown hikes. Moving on to my food kit. This is a Z-Packs Dyneema bear bag kit. It comes with a rucksack and some cord. I learned how to do the PCT method a little while ago. It only took me like 30 minutes to get the first one, but definitely nice to have that. Keep the bears and critters away. In that, we'll have my Genius Outdoors long-handled spoon. I've used this again on both of the trips that I went, and it was amazing, and I didn't feel like I was like getting my hand down in the bag and getting stuff all over it. So awesome. Highly recommend Genius Outdoors. They're cool people, so go with that. This is just obviously fuel canister, and I watched Dixie Homemade Wanderlust, her video on how to make a pot cozy. For those of you who don't know what a pot cozy is, it just is kind of good to save fuel. So you bring the water to a boil and put your pot down in there, so obviously you can get more out of your fuel canister. In that, I have my titanium pot. It's a Toaks titanium, has these nice little handles out here. And I have just a little bag with a few items for cooking in here. Let's see if I can get it out. This is the MSR Pocket Rocket Stove. It works awesome. The only thing is I'm gonna have to figure out how to make a windshield because I went out when it was really cold and windy, and it kept like hitting against the flame, and so it was going out, and it was just really frustrating. So definitely gonna make a windshield for that. A lighter. Oh, I have leftover ramen flavor, so definitely nice to have that. And in the bag, oh, you know what? I have a little pack towel that I like to wrap around the stove just to prevent rust and things like that. So we'll just pop it down in here. Okay, and in there I have just a little collapsible cup. It's really the only form of plate, whatever, bowl, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to use. It's good for coffee, and I can mix everything else in there. It rinses out really nice, so definitely good to have that. Let's get that all locked back up. some hand sanitizer. This is perfect. It's just going to clip to the front of my pack. I'll probably get a different little thing for it because it kept sliding out on the last trip. And we're going to move up to electronics. I went with the Anker 20,000 milliamp. I'm going to be charging all of my devices, so my phone, I have my Osmo Pocket 2 that I'm recording this on, a Garmin InReach, so definitely wanted to have something that's going to last me a few days for all of my electronics. We can go to safety now. I might have gone a little bit overboard with this, but you know, you can never be safe, or you can, what's the phrase? Better safe than sorry. Okay, so I just got a little compass just in case my all of my devices die and I need to follow that. It's got a little whistle on it. It's got a temperature thermometer, so that's awesome, and it's definitely going to be helpful whenever I'm out there in March and freezing my butt off and I just want to see how cold it is. I do have a knife that I'm bringing along with me, as well as a Swiss Army multi-tool. I just feel safe having this with me. I don't really know how long it'll stay. Since I haven't ever done anything like the AT, I think it's going to be great to have this with me. And this is nice because it's got all of the little things that a multi-tool has, so perfect. And of course I have my pepper spray. I also have a Black Diamond Storm headlamp. I had a cheap one before and I was just a little concerned, like, you know, I know branding is like such a thing or whatever, but I was just a little concerned that it wasn't going to get me where I needed to be, or if it was dark, I wouldn't be able to go out and like go to the bathroom in the middle of the night without a light. So I wanted to get something that was reliable. Next, I have my water kit. I do have 2 smart water bottles, and these I will just fill up with dirty water and use my Sawyer squeeze. Just screw it right on there and I can drink from the top. And I will have also this smaller smart water bottle to do my mixtures of like Propel water or something to get a little more electrolytes in me while I'm out there. I also have a couple of lids, and this is something that I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it or not. It is just the platypus dirty bag, so I can kind of turn it into a gravity system with my Sawyer squeeze. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep it or if it's worth the wait, but I feel like at some point the water sources might be a little hard to get water, so that is what that is for. This is just my little like first aid kit back here. Let's see, it would have been a lot easier if I just got up and walked around, but it's fine. I have a emergency blanket in the event it gets really cold. I have a little fire starter. This is a little striker and just the little, I guess, fire fuses, as well as a little tool to blow on the fire so that it makes it blaze a little more. I guess that's the term you're supposed to use. And then I just have my little repair kit, some Neosporin. I don't know if I'll keep that or if I'll just get like a couple little packets. That's the repair kit. I have Band-Aids and safety pin. I might put a few more of those in there. I do have the paracord on my pack, so I don't think I'll have to strap a whole lot of clothes to it, but it'll be nice to have that option. Moving on, I did go with the Nemo Hornet 2P tent. It does have the footprint repair for in case the poles break, the poles themselves. And I wasn't going to switch to titanium rods or stakes. I guess that's the term I was supposed to use. But I realized after my first 2 trips that I needed a few more stakes and I need something a little bit more durable. So I just went ahead and bought these, and I got the mini ones to attach my rainfly, so that's nice. And I'm really bad at losing things. I've already lost like one of my gaiters for my feet, so you know, it's nice to have just a couple extra in there. I will say the first trip I took this Nemo Hornet out on, I don't know if it was where I set it up or how I set it up, but it was really windy out there in the middle of the night. I know I set it up wrong, but the wind was blowing onto my tent, and when I went to readjust it, I popped the zipper off of the rainfly. So REI was really great about exchanging it for me, and I decided to give it another shot. Figured it was just my error, I guess, with the human error. So I just went ahead and gave it another shot, and my next trip out, 5 days, worked awesome. I think I'm gonna stick with it the whole way, so really like that. For my sleep kit, I went with the Enlightened Equipment, I can't remember, it's a quilt. It's wonderful. It is a 20 degree, which I'm a little concerned about when I first start, so I did buy like one of the Sea to Summit reactor blankets, but I think this one's still not going to be warm enough. I may end up getting one that's even a little bit warmer to start. I'm a cold sleeper, so that is going to be something I'm going to look into. Next, I went on a 5-day from, where did I go? From Springer to Neal's Gap. And while I was out there, there was a guy who he and his wife had folded up or cut down a piece of Reflectix, which I use to make my pot cozy out of, and use that as a little extra layer of insulation. So I really liked that idea, and this fits perfectly into that back pocket. It's super light with my sit pad, so I may just keep that for a little bit while it's so cold outside. And my sleeping pad, boy, this is definitely an upgrade. Everybody talks about how great the Neo Air X Lite is. I got the women's, and that thing was awful. Like, I rolled off in the middle of the night. It wasn't comfortable. I know that it was like warm or whatever. I didn't feel the ground, but it just was awful. I don't recommend it, but you know, everybody's different. So if you like it, that's great. I'm glad it works. So I did end up going with the Sea to Summit X Therm. It's a light women's sleeping pad. That's the word I'm looking for. But it's nice because it kind of has the baffles on the side, so I didn't feel like I was rolling off, or if I did, it would kind of stop me. And along with that, this was another thing. The pump stack that came with that Neo Air X Lite was not, it still took like 6 times of rolling this thing down. This takes 2.5 to fill up that entire thing, so it takes me about 30 seconds to get my sleep pad ready, which I really like. I know this is something that is questionable. I did decide to go with a pillow. This is the Sea to Summit Aeros Ultralight Regular. I decided to get this one because it was ultralight, and I'm trying to keep my back weight down right now. It's about 19 pounds base weight. So this is nice to have, not necessarily for my head, but to put in between my knees. I'm a side sleeper. So I know that it's extra weight and it's a few extra ounces, but it's worth it for me to be comfortable when I sleep. That way I have a good day while I'm hiking. I'm gonna go on to my bathroom kit. So for the ladies, I just have a peanut butter jar that I've wrapped up so nobody has to see all of the nasty stuff whenever it's that time. You know, this is good to have, and because what you pack in, you have to pack out. Leave no trace. Don't dig a hole and put that stuff in it. I do have just a little roll of toilet paper. I went with a Kula cloth so I don't have to use so much toilet paper while I'm out there. And this thing is awesome. It's so cute too, but it is awesome. Highly recommend. If you don't know about it, feel free to ask or go to kulacloth.com. They have lots of really cute designs. So another thing, this is to dig my poop hole, essentially. It's called the Deuce of Spades, and I had experience with this obviously on one of those first 2 trips out. Yeah, there's not really much to say about that. Something I ran into while I was out there is I drink a lot of water. I'm gonna be drinking a lot of water while I'm out there, and I have to pee in the middle of the night, and it was so annoying to have to open my tent and go out in the dark. And first of all, I'm a little scared of the dark, so yeah, that was just a whole experience in itself. So I did decide to get a Shiwi, I think is this one's called. Oh, this one's a pee style. I got a pee style and a bottle, so I don't have to get out of my tent in the middle of the night. First time I used this indoors, it worked perfect, and then I tried it outdoors for the first time, and let's just say that was not my best idea, and I think I need to get a little more practice before I get out there, but it's a great tool if you know how to use it, so definitely recommend that. This I'll probably end up exchanging for a smaller one. I don't think I need a full Nalgene bottle, but it's nice to have that option. I have some wipes here. Obviously you want to keep good dental hygiene, so toothbrush, toothpaste, and floss. I have Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, and I'll really only use that if I absolutely have to. I know it says it's good for the environment or it's like okay or whatever, but it's still putting stuff out there. So I'll only use it if I absolutely have to. And I have just some ibuprofen and Zyrtec here also. A couple of luxury items that I have. This is the Rology cork ball, and at first I was like, this is extra weight, I don't really need it, but by the last day I was on that second trip, I walked 15 miles, and that was like a lot for me. I'm not quite there yet. I need a little more training, I think, but it was nice to be able to whip this out in the middle of the day and just roll out my feet and my legs, so I definitely will be keeping this. I decided to get a Gossamer Gear umbrella. It's super light, and I think it'll be nice to have when I'm walking. I don't think I'm gonna bring rain pants, so it'll be nice to have this as extra cover, and it'll be good for like sun. I burn really easy, so it'll be good for sun and snow while I'm out there too. Okay, so let's move on to clothing. First, I just have a basic Ironman watch here, which is just Timex. It's awesome. I really like it, and it's nice not to have to put my phone or whatever out every time I want to look at the time. I did go with the Enlightened Equipment Torrid jacket. This thing has kept me so warm already, and I honestly just can't wait to get out there and start using it. It's the same as my sleeping bag, black on the outside. I think it's tendinier fabric, so purple on the inside. Definitely really like that option. I have sealskin gloves for when I first start out. I may end up just getting some fleece ones, which I know they'll get wet in the snow and stuff, so these are kind of undecided. They're a little heavy for gloves. I have a Columbia rain jacket. It has the bells and whistles, it has the pit zips and the hood that you can cinch down in the waist. It is heavy though, so I don't know if I'll stick with this one or not. I have a little bit lighter one in there too that doesn't have the pit zips, but I've heard that that's something that people really miss whenever they're out there. So as I talked about a second ago, I bought these Frog Togs rain pants, and I don't know if I'm gonna bring them. I feel like it's just extra added weight, and you're gonna get wet anyways out there. So I don't think I'm gonna bring them. They still have the tag on them, so I may return those. For camp sleep, I have Smart Wool base layers. They're the 250 leggings, and then this little thing is awesome. It looks like that stupid game, I can't even think of it, but they have pull their hoods up. That or South Park, I've been compared to. I look like the characters from South Park, so I really like those. They keep me warm. For hiking, whenever I first start, it's still going to be snowing, so I got these cold weather leggings from Fabletics. I haven't worn them yet, but I'm going to start doing a little traveling before I hit the trail, so I'm going to try those out. And I have an REI long sleeve. It's just got a little bit of a wool fabric shirt, and I have a fleece, but this has been kind of a last minute addition. I don't know if I'll really need that with all of the other gear that I have, so might start with it, and then if I get to Neil's Gap and I just can't carry it, don't need the weight, I'll send it out. When it starts getting a little warmer, and just even to wear over my leggings, I have the Under Armour just basic black shorts, and I have this Under Armour shirt. I have to get another one because I think this kind of contributed to the chafing from my backpack. It's got this little like cutesy hole or whatever. I know I'm not gonna be cutesy out there. It's definitely gonna be I'll be a hot mess, but it's fine. Anyways, I have to get another shirt to go, but that's just a stand-in. I did go with Patagonia underwear. They're moisture wicking and help with chafing, and a Under Armour sports bra. I'll have 2 pair of Darn Tough socks, and I have Injinji toe socks that are gonna go, 2 pair of those as well, because I get blisters, and when I wore them I like left with no blisters. It was awesome. I have 1 pair of sleep socks. They are wool. I have a buff that's hopefully gonna help keep in the warmth. I have really bad problems with sleeping outside, and my nose just gets so cold, so this is definitely nice to have, especially whenever I'm sleeping. I will have Dirty Girl gaiters. I just have one and I don't know what happened to the other one, so I'm gonna have to go on a hunt in all of my stuff to try and find this. I'm so annoyed with myself already. Just have like a little bandana stick on the side of my pack, which is good for like wiping sweat or, you know, whatever I need. Dipping it in cold water, that's a good one. I have the Ultra Lone Peak 4.5 trail runners. Whenever I first wore them, I was starting to get a little bit of pain in my knee, and I think that was from like not stretching and also the insole. So I just did buy, I forgot to put them in there, but I did just buy, what are they called? Dr. Scholl's custom fit insole. So I'm hoping that's really gonna help, and then as well as adding more stretching to the regimen. And I have a Patagonia hat. I don't know if I'll keep this one either. It kind of slides up on my head at night, and I definitely want something that's going to stay on and keep my head and ears warm. And last but not least, I have the REI Traverse trekking pole. Used these for the first time, and they're aluminum. Whenever I first used them, I don't know if it was like how I was doing it, but the foot kept sliding down. And at REI, your wrist straps don't come on a left and a right. They both just come with left. So there's a video on YouTube. I'm not sure who did it, but I'm going to figure it out for you, and I'll post it below, where you can just flip the straps around and do a left and right so it doesn't rub a blister on the inside of your hand. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything that I'm going to be carrying for 6 months. I'll add a couple of other things in there whenever it gets a little warmer, like DEET and a bug net. And I'm not carrying bear spray. I know, everybody's like, oh my gosh, why are you not carrying bear spray? But the bears on the AT, from what I've heard, pretty much leave you alone if you just yell at them. They're not dangerous. They're not out there to like attack you. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I'm not sure if I'm trying to convince myself or you at this point, but I'm not going to carry any bear spray. It's just too heavy. And yeah, I'm trying to save my back as much as I can. So I am so grateful that you came and just checked out all of the things that I'm going to be bringing with me. If there's any questions that you have about weight, what the brand is, where I got it, feel free to ask below. And thank you so much for coming, and just like and subscribe if you want to keep seeing more videos about my trail. Have a good day.